Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another day of demos. We have about 5 or 6 more days of demos before Final Fantasy Tactics releases, and that's when we'll hop over to a new game. Hi, Satinel, how are you doing? This game is called Bladesong. I could always go full demo streamer. I could, but I really do that on weekends. It's fine. I also go full demo streamer during Stream Next Fest anyway. So, there is that. I'm pretty good, thank you. Okay, there are a lot of demos released today. I think I told you in Discord, but there were so many demos released today that I wanted to play. There were like 4 different demos that I could have made the main highlight of the stream, kind of like the leading portion of the stream. Yeah, so anyway, I picked this one to start. Partially because I'm not sure how long the game is, but also because it looked fun. So yeah, this game is called Bladesong. It's a management game where you craft swords. I believe that's it. But I believe they do it in a very realistic, or at least not necessarily. Part of it's realistic, but part of it's also very, like each part of the sword has like different statistics and contributes different things to the full sword, and it looked interesting from the demo. So, from the store page. So here we are trying to decide what language we're going to play this in. English. Welcome to the Bladesong demo. New game starts Bladesong story mode with tutorial. Creative mode allows for pure expressive swords making. Sure, you can have all the analytics you want. Display hammer timing interface. I don't know. Let's leave that off for now. Everything else is fine, I think. New game. In clawing darkness, you writhe. You cling to life by the tips of your fingers. Space to continue. Something takes shape in the emptiness. Contours of flesh tracing along familiar lines. A withered old woman's face, floating before your own. Space to continue. When she speaks, she has the rasping voice of a raven. Who are you? A swordsmith? A survivor? A saint? Space to continue. A dying man, a dying woman, a dying soul. You be addressed as male, female. You will largely be addressed in a gender-neutral way. At times, generic masculine might be used. There. Dying? Space to continue? Wrong. It is not yet your time. The sundering claim untold lives, yet you endured when so many around you perish. What did you do to survive? I press space to continue. I joined a band of sellswords, forging the blades used in our butchery. This background grants 3 toughness, and may open unique dialogue choices. We built a settlement at Osterhall. I was a smith and a spokeswoman. For many years we held out. One by one I buried them all. 3 diplomacy. I plied my trade from settlement to settlement, gathering hard-won knowledge about a world that is falling apart. I was too useful to kill. I was traded back and forth as a prize between warlords who kept me chained to a forge. When I saw my chance, I escaped. Okay, I like Wanderer, so let's go Wanderer. A cold hand touches your brow. Water cools your burning throat. Space to continue. You kept something through all your hardships, a keepsake from better time. What is it? An artisan's toolkit for creative style grants a bundle of leathers and pigments for more creative freedom early on. That's tempting. A family heirloom for story-focused playstyle grants a unique family heirloom passed down through prior generations of your lineage. If I were a slave, I wonder how I kept this. A bottle of rare oval spirit from optimization-focused playstyle grants a bottle of precious liquor to boost your progress. Story, of course. The fire is burning itself out, leaving you a damp shadow of your old self. You claw blindly in the darkness until more water is tipped down your throat. What do you believe in now the voices have abandoned this world? Ambition. Humanity can rise above the voices if we learn their secrets. Continuity. I believe in small things. Bread rising, seasons turning, children growing. Freedom. We're better off without the voices. Humans can adapt to anything. Compassion. Every small kindness is an act of defiance in a world without pity. And nothing matters anymore. There's peace in accepting that. So these do not give stat bonuses. Ambition, continuity, freedom, compassion, nothing. Ambition. The secrets of the voices will burn your mind to ash, mortal. You can't stop what's coming. Whenever I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick, I decide based on what Taigi would pick. And he would pick ambition now. I'll leave you with one final question, and I don't expect an answer. What will fill the silence the voices left behind? As the old woman's face retreats into inky blackness, sparks flicker into life behind her one by one. A field of stars burning with a sickly pale light. Like seeds taking root, they twist and expand, their tendrils branching and burrowing through the darkness until they've strangled it with light. Now wake, Smith. You still have the part to play in humanity's final act. Space to continue. A new day has dawned. Your eyes flutter as you regain consciousness. You're faintly surprised to find yourself alive. Either death did not come for you, or when it did, it found you unyielding. You sit up, gasping, sweat-drenched. The fever has broken. Get your bearings and remember, a lifetime on the road, selling your wares, sleeping under trees, learning the secrets of the world. Every year it got harder. Landmarks vanished, bridges collapsed, outposts fell to ruin. At last you were forced to seek a sanctuary. It was a long journey to Aaron Keep, through dust and despair. Your last memories are of sliding from your dying horse, your numb legs tracking furrows in the mud as someone dragged you to shelter. But who? Outside the tent is a crude field forge, complete with an anvil. Did you crawl here in the days, or did your mysterious caretaker bring you here? Either way, the anvil gives you a feeling of home. Get your bearings. You're in the tent. There's no sign of a caretaker, apart from a half-empty water pail and damp cloth on your brow. You peek out of the tent flap, squinting against the sunlight. Outside, as far as the eye can see, stretches a chaotic sprawl of tents and shelters, churned mud and shallow graves. Most of our rations are gone. Your horse was already dying when the fever took you. His body is nowhere to be found, to be seen. By now it's like soup. Oh, you're on your own. Assess the field forger's condition. It seems to have been abandoned for some time, lacking anyone with the skill to work it. But it won't require much effort to get running again should you need to make a living out here. Hopefully it won't come to that. First you should head to the gates and try to secure entry to Aaron Keep. That's why you came here after all. Thank you for playing the Bladesong demo. This short tutorial will teach you all you need to know. Please follow it closely. I cannot spacebar through this one for some reason. Every other thing so far I've been able to hit spacebar. Now come to the camp, swordsman. People will come to you with commissions. You choose which commissions to take on. Commissions refresh daily. Select the highlighted button to choose your first commission. Owen. Your first customer is a gaunt man in a tattered cloak. He approaches you, noticing the anvil outside your tent. You are a blacksmith? Can you make me a sword? I've got a coin for it. Just make sure it's good and long. I don't like my enemies to be in hugging distance if you get my meaning. Preparing this billet costs action points. Billet costs action points. Action points replenish daily. Preparing this billet also costs steel. This thing. Sure. The currency here is called talers. Thalers. Rotate the camera with the right mouse button. Move the camera with the middle mouse button. Only moves back and forth. Zoom and scroll. I see. Customers have different requirements which your sword must fulfill. The top left panel shows your progress towards commission requirements. Hover the cursor over the blade length requirement to see helpful details. So I need the sword must be required between 38 and 58%, current 10%. Overall length of the blade measured from base to point. Let's start shaping your blade. Click the plus button to add a change length ability. You can apply light or heavy hammer hits to alter your blade. Let's start with light hits. Click on the steel blade to hammer lengthen it. In order to make larger changes in your blade, you can build up strength with heavy hits. Click when the hammer is at its highest position for a heavy hit. The longer your chain of heavy hits, the more your blade changes with each hit. Is that like a stamina thing, or like a number of turns I can hit it or something? Current 13%. So the blade, the hammer goes up and then comes back down and rests halfway. Interesting. I wish I could use the WSAD or the arrow keys to move the screen as well. It seems like I can only use middle mouse button. Also, how long is this sword? This is only a 36% sword. Now that the blade length requirement is met, let's flatten the blade. Click the plus button to add a change thickness ability. Feel free to use light or heavy hits as you please. Hold shift for even lighter hammer hits. So there's no requirement for all these. Change thickness. Let's make the blade wider using the change width ability. Hammer a point on the sword. Usually customers won't accept a sword without a point. The cross-section ability makes your blade sharp. Let's add it. This ability has two steps. First, you need to give the blade a sharp edge. Watch the cross-section display in the top right to get a better understanding of what's happening. Hammer onto the blue line on the blade turns orange. The edge is now sharp and you can further adjust the shape of the cross-section. Keep hammering until the hexagon shape becomes a diamond shape. But by doing this, I'm hitting, I narrow both sides at once, right? Okay. Great, your blade is complete. Click the hilt mode button. Start working on the hilt. In hilt mode, you have access to a library of sword parts to complete your sword. Select a card from the library and attach it to a slot in the sword. Here you have a tuba. Snaps on around here. In hilt mode, attaching parts costs resources. Keep an eye on the resource panel to see how much you're spending. Add a grip part next. This makes no sense as a sword. But anyway, this does. Your customer requires a two-handed sword, so your grip section needs to be long enough. Attach a second grip part. This would really benefit from being able to move the screen with my mouse, with my with my keyboard, sorry, and not my mouse. Attach the second grip part to the first. But nothing really fits. I don't think this can be the first grip. Oh, I can put this first. Okay, I can exchange them. When holding a sword part, you can cycle through time using the QE or control scroll wheel. Select a pommel and try this now. Cool. Every part of a sword influences its physics. Watch the weight and balance meters. Let's shift as you attach a pommel. Less balance, more weight. And different pommels affect it differently as well. Cool. You can detach sword parts again up. You can detach sword parts again up. Like there's an extra word here by clicking on them. You'll get a resources pack, so feel free to experiment. When you're happy with your two-handed hilt, let's make some final adjustments to the blade. The ability history shows all abilities that have been used on the blade. You can use this to revisit abilities and edit or delete them. The number next to the applied ability shows its intensity. Editing abilities has no cost, feel free to experiment. Select the change with ability you added earlier. Press X to flip the direction of a hammering. Then hammer to narrow the blade. Okay. This commission is fulfilled, so it's time to sell the sword. Click the button above. The man takes the sword and jabs it at his shadow experimentally. A slow grin crosses his face. This should do the trick. Thank you, Smith. Here's your payment. Sure. Why is there a no button? What does that do? Congratulations on finishing your first sword. Now the customer awaits. Blend in. Customers with repair jobs will provide you with a sword that they want edited. These commissions don't have an initial billet cost, so they're perfect for making some coins when you're low on resources. Word is already spreading around camp about the new smith. Your next customer is a wary-looking man with a bald pate, his hollow eyes darting back and forth. I heard you came down with the wasting fever. Lucky to be alive you are. Anyway, can you modify this sword for me? I scavenged it from the ruins, but it hasn't got enough of a point to it. I want something I can stab into a thief's belly if I need to. He hands you a sword with a sharp edge, but a rounded tip. As you hold it up to the light, he leans forward conspiratorially. I've only had the blade 3 days, and I've felt people's jealous eyes upon it. When they come for it in the night, I want to be able to give them a sharp stab. 1 stamina, 0 steel. Customer wants his sword altered. The rounded point needs to be turned into a narrow point. You can change the range of many abilities. The range influenced by abilities marked on the line. Drag the circular handle at the end of this line. Hammer to apply a change. Nice work! When you fulfill all requirements, the commission is complete and you can sell the sword. You have a very pointed sword. Technically it's fine, right? He didn't ask he didn't say I couldn't make the sword. Very pointed. Perfect. This is a ridiculously pointed sword, but it meets our requirements. Quickly name the sword Taigi the Second. The man takes the sword and tests the point, smiling at the bead of blood that wells at his fingertip. Then he stows it away, glancing around the camp as he does so. Old tools. Folks out here will take everything from you if you ain't vigilant. Keep a keen eye out, Smith. He scurries away, his back hunched as though against a non-existent downpour. You just received a scrap item. Go to inventory to inspect what you receive. What inventory? Oh. Salvaging turns scrap items into useful resources. This costs a small amount of action points, so it's a perfect use of leftover points at the end of the day. Hover for items to see descriptions, interact with the item to salvage it. This is my family heirloom, a sophisticated bronze brooch, passed down through your family line for untold generations. Never been able to translate the inscription around the edge. Nice. Customers may specifically ask for designs from this book. Nice. I caught 19 pieces of steel from that. When action points are spent, it's time to end the day. If you end the day with any action points left, they will be lost. So try to use them up whenever you can. I am so good at the game. Oh, I thought this was a loading screen of some kind, but no, I have to click on this. Out the game. Passage into Iron Keep is barred by a colossal gate taller than the ship's mast. It was built to withstand enemy armies, but since the Masked King's ascension, it mainly keeps out the desperate masses seeking his protection. Examine the magical barrier. It's only visible in the half-light of dawn, or when it pours with rain, a faint shimmer that rises from the walls and captures Iron Keep in a vast dome. Knowledge, success. For a city to have survived this long past sundering, it must have extraordinary defenses. You've heard that some surviving outposts have guardian dragons or shrouds of impenetrable fog, but none have as perfect protection as Iron Keep. It's as though the songs never ended. Attackers, human or otherwise, are simply unable to breach the dome. Poisonous mines must dissipate harmlessly against it. Plagues are kept at bay. Within the sanctuary, crops grow without withering, water runs clean, and people can sleep without fear. If such miracles can exist in a world without the voices, surely there's hope for the future? As you approach, the portcullis rises to admit a caravan and chaos breaks out. The crowd swells like a rising tide. Refugees push forward begging for entry, and the guards batter them back with their shields. The merchant wagons barrel through, their drivers using horse whips to lash stragglers out of the way. Sneak through with the wagons, call for the attention of the guard. Sneak through. You don't get far before a guard grabs you by the shoulder and flings you down into the churn mat. Not on my watch. He gazes down at you like a fisherman, disappointed with his catch. I want to enter the keep. You a citizen, or you got yourself a worker's permit? No, I don't. Then get out of here, applicant, and stop wasting my time. Applicant. That's a euphemism the guards use to refer to the desperate hordes camping at their gate. It's a nicer ring, you suppose, than a refugee. I have useless skills. I'm a blacksmith. Every applicant who comes here begging is a doctor, or a master glassmaker, or a damn alchemist. You think I was born yesterday? If I'm a smith, prove it. I don't have a sword, I mean. How do you expect me to do that? If you just come with me, I'll demonstrate my skills at my forge. And do you think I can just leave my post like that? Buzz off, little fly. Head back to your tent. You return to your tent where your makeshift forge awaits. You're hardly at your best working with such limited materials, but it's all you have for the time being. It won't be long before your cache of steel runs out. Since it seems you're going to be here longer than expected, you should make it a priority to find a merchant in this forsaken place. That was kind of sudden. Nicely done, you finished the tutorial. From today on, you'll have more action points to spend. You won't be able to complete every commission, so pick the ones you like the sound of. The game will open up from here. Don't be afraid to explore. You have a few resources to get you started. Okay, so when you say resources, you actually mean resources and not like help files. Okay, that's good. Let's see. So inventory, very good. Commissions, very good. I have 8 action points. I have 3 chickens in front of my forge. Those are important. This is a repair. These ones cost steel. I don't like Griswold because his name sounds like a Diablo character, and I don't like Diablo. I guess you can look at all the. You can actually look at all the conversations before you choose. This one costs 7 action points. I can actually only do one of these plasters. A hunchman shuffles towards your anvil. His hands black with dirt and a shovel strapped across his back. He's as short as a child, but wide as a barrel, and he stinks of soil. I need a sword, Why do you need a blade? There's a smell of the dead about you. Are you the grave digger? Someone's got to bury the dead, and it ain't pleasant work. People die every day in the camp. Fever, hunger, despair, Why do you need a blade? All sorts of scurrilous rumors been circulating about this humble grave digger, Smith. They say I steal from the dead. One man in particular, he thinks I took his wife's ring when I planted her in the earth. Well, I ask you, what use does a dead woman have for a ring? It's supposed to be an understanding. I don't dig graves for free, and the dead are the ones who pay. What kind of sword are you after? Something I can think twice about bothering me. It's bigger than me, but a good blade even so, don't it? I'm not looking for trouble, I just want to be left alone to do my work in peace. I actually agree with his philosophy. I agree with him. I don't think it's really... Well, I don't think it's wrong to grieve for it in this context of the game. A weary looking man approaches your anvil, his shoulders bowed and his eyes haunted. He's sporting a fresh black eye. Out here, the strong prey on the weak. I should have accepted that long ago. Now I'm tired of being counted among the weak. A good blade might change the equation. This guy's no conversation. Yet his thing costs 7 action points. A lank-haired woman sidles up to you, her fingers plucking nervously at her shabby coat. Her name is Thief? But her name is actually Mina. Don't call her Thief. I don't know if you heard these accusations flying around. People losing things and pointing fingers at innocent folks. Honestly, if you ask me, they're just careless. She hesitates, running her tongue over her upper lip. I just need something for protection, you understand? If everyone's so worked up about their missing valuables, which I know nothing about, well, a girl needs to feel safe. I don't know if I should work for a thief. How do you know you're a thief? Because that's what your caption says. Are you under suspicion? What? Me? No. Well, yes, under suspicion. But I didn't do it, I swear. Honestly, the way people out here react to a few loaves of bread going missing from their tent, it's hardly worse than murder, right? There's no need to get so worked up about it. What do you need? Nothing fancy, just quick to draw, easy to hide. Victoria. A middle-aged woman approaches your anvil. Years of hardship have scarred deep lines on her face. I need a weapon, Smith. Something small and light that I can hide under my shawl. The camp isn't safe anymore. People are getting desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. I've lost too much already to get here. I won't lose what little I have left to thieves and cutthroats. And grave robbers and... Wait, was that all? You didn't have a conversation. Hello, Smith. Nice setup you've got here. Are you here to commission a sword or admire my anvil? Commission a sword. There's a gang that comes around my tent every night. Regular as clockwork. They kick and beat us, take our rations, push our faces into the mud. You'd think there'd be some solidarity out here, but, well, Daring. I've managed to hide the last of my coin from them so far, but who knows for how long. Best to spend that coin on a good sword, I reckon, so I can protect what's mine. A desperate-looking man shuffles forward, unwrapping a battered blade from a dirty cloth. I haven't taken proper care of this. I'm too focused on just surviving. Could you fix it? Okay. Let's help this poor middle-aged woman. Accept. Forge. So she wants... So basically it marks the things that have requirements. Like this, this, and this. Right now the length is not long enough. And the weight is too high. Weight currently 91. But of course we have to... That's already too low now. We need to taper the thing. Or you want to move it here. That's a weird sword. You can make really weird swords. Really weird sword. This one has a little tip on the end. You can do this and... How weird. Let's not do that though. Can I actually cancel this? I can. Try doing this. The weight is too high. We actually do still need to change the width. But the entire thing at once. Change the thickness. I don't actually want... Thickness is this way. The width is that way. Actually no, it doesn't make a difference because when I can add a... I still need to do other things. Nice pointy blade. Book Smooth Companion require at least 2 current 0. What is this? Oh, I can't use these. Let's do the hilt first, cause the hilt should add weight, right? Either way. So she wants a... Oh no, when she says Smooth Companion, so I need at least 2 things with a blue star. I need a pommel and a guard with a blue star, okay. It's far too light. It's also far too light. Probably need to put on a grip first. I can rotate this. I can polish, change the polish, change the sink, but I can't make it shorter. How do I make a shorter grip? I guess you can't. The thing kind of automatically extends. Okay. Okay, so I have two things from the book. There's one handed, it doesn't have a broad point. Forge a rather broad or rounded point. Stabbing is not, oh, okay, sorry. I should have read. Let's go back to this. Reverse hammering. There. So it doesn't satisfy weight, so I need this to be thicker. So there. Seems to satisfy everything. Light short sword. Nah, this is Taiki the third. Offer. Wait, your blade is not sharp, but you just said. So how do I satisfy this and this? I guess it still needs to be a little sharp. Oh, we're talking about the blade. Never mind, I forgot about that. Well, did I? Wait, but the cross section is sharp though. Or maybe it's not. The blade is not sharp. So they're talking about the... But that makes no sense to them. Got a broad or rounded point. Even at 100%, this thing says your blade is not sharp. What do they mean when they say the blade is not sharp? I don't think they mean this. I think they mean like this. But this satisfies this. The blade is not sharp. The weight went down, but that's fine. Can you delete cross section and add it again? I cannot edit a second time, right? Or I can, but... Oh, that's the other side of the lens. hammer under the blue line turns orange. Edge is now sharp, and you can further adjust the shape of the cross section. Oh, because... Wait, no. So it is something to do with the cross section. I'm not exactly sure what. Cross section, so blue right now. Orange now. I can continue hammering to change the shape there. I do get that. Your blade is not sharp. Why the hell does it say that? I don't know. Fancy odd sort, but okay. You can really make all kinds of weapons, all kinds of weapon shapes from this. Like, I know the unmet requirements are due to this, which is fine. It's because I removed the width thing and pound this down. No, that doesn't do what I think it does. There. But still, your blade is not sharp. Huh? You're getting this to 100% doesn't change your blade is not sharp, so it's not referring to this point. This thing just gets rid of broad point. I guess I still don't understand why. Adding a second cross section doesn't seem to. Oh, that works. I guess there was a bottom and a top cross section, but I had two cross sections earlier and that didn't do anything. I don't know. They like this though, so I'm like, whatever. Okay, sure. She takes a weapon, testing its weight carefully. Her grip is uncertain. Thank you, Smith. I hope I never have cause to use this, but it's good to know I have it if I need it. Maybe now I can sleep through the night without jumping at every sound. That's worth more than any coin. Earn a skill point. Open a skill tree to spend it on improvements. Ooh. Ooh. I guess I have to start here. Yeah. Unlocks profile taper to make blades taper in width. Unlocks distal taper to make the blades taper in thickness. Sure. And let's go accept this one. Basically, he wants it sharp. Everything else is okay, and even if it's not, there's no requirements for it. Your blade is not sharp again. But let's go taper the point. The point. Sharpness 3. So this is actually not just, this is not actually tapering the point. It is the same thing as the last one. It is cross section. I think. Yeah, now this is satisfied. Even this also satisfies sharpness. He examines the repaired weapon with amazement, running his fingers along the restored metal. It's like you brought it back from the dead. I owe you, Smith. You're also going to name your sword Tagi the Fourth. Yes. I have nothing else to do now. I do have one action point, so let's dismantle this. And sleep. Oh, so today I have an action I can do here and an action I can do here in terms of the story. Let's go here, I guess. The camp. They're chasing around my chicken. That's my chicken. Outside the walls of Aaron Keep, desperate souls and chickens gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Scavenge for food, introduce yourself to the chickens. The tents near you are mostly occupied by unfriendly, suspicious folk. Buck, yes, Buck, from Divinity Original Sin 2. Although I think his name was something else, but we call him Buck. They spit on the ground when you approach and ward you off with threatening gestures. Pepper, yes. I think. Peeper. Pepper? Oh, is it Peeper? I thought it was Pepper, but I think you are right. I think it is Peeper. There's one exception, however. A young woman who actually smiles as you approach, though her eyes are haunted and hollow-set. There's a picture of her and her chicken. Glad to see you're feeling better. You were on death's door for a while there. You looked after me? Not exactly. I dragged you to safety after you fell off your horse. So you're the one who nursed me back to health? I just said no. No, that old woman showed up, told me she was going to look after you. I checked in now and then, but she told me you were still recovering. Where is she anyway? I haven't seen her in days. You just handed me over to some random stranger? No idea. Let me know if you run into her again. I'd like to thank her. She was gone by the time I woke up, and I have no idea who she was. Huh. Strange. I assume she was a relative of yours. Must have been just a kind-hearted old soul. Count your blessings. There's not many of those around in this camp. Lovely neighborhood, isn't it? She snorts a half-hearted laugh. Name's Chef. Short for Shivana, but only my mother calls me that, and she's been dead for 10 years. She's painfully thin and covered in grime, much like everyone else in the camp. She's the first person you've seen smile, though. What do you imagine goes on in Aaron Keep? I'm starting to forget what civilization used to look like. As long as it's better than here, I don't care what it's like. In Aaron Keep, everyone eats like an emperor and the streets are paved with beer. It's safe in there. The Masked King looks after his people. It's somewhere you can set up shop, build a real business, not just scrape by. Sure. You make it sound so easy. I wish I had a skill you could build a business around. All I know how to do is survive one day to the next. She lapses into silence. Somewhere in the distance, a scream rings out. You both try to ignore it. Do you know anyone selling materials I could use for my forge? I heard someone say that there's a scrap peddler in the Lost City selling all sorts of things. Be careful if you go to the Lost City though. That place gives me the shivers. See ya, goodbyes. Before you can leave, Chef grabs your arm. There's a wild desperation in her eyes. I've been stuck out here for weeks, and not everyone in camp is as friendly as you. Not sure how much longer I can last. Can you do me a favor? If you get into Aaron Keep before me, find a fellow named Lucas Boriona. He's my uncle. If he knew I was out here, he'd help me, I'm sure of it. Of course, I'll let him know you're here. You really think I'll get in before you? You've been here longer than I have. I won't make any promises. Aaron Keep is a big city. You're a blacksmith, aren't you? You actually have a skill that can benefit Aaron Keep. All my skills are only relevant to surviving out here. Trapping small animals, finding water in the drylands, that sort of thing. My only other advantage is my winning personality, and that hasn't gotten me anywhere so far. Just, if you get through the gate, keep an eye out, okay? Lucas Boriona, remember the name. Chef lifts her hand in farewell as you walk away from her tent. Her smile is as fragile as porcelain. Scavenge for food, look around the camp, return to your tent. The camp is an appalling spectacle. An ocean of mud and flies, with gaunt men and women scraping a living amid the filth. Not far from your tent, recent rains have swept away the soil on a mass grave, exposing glints of yellow bone. Only the rats are well fed out here. The tragedy of the applicants' camp is indescribable, so is the smell. There are no sewers out here, and not everyone bothers to go to the outskirts to use the latrines. Tucked away from the squalor, you find a pocket where desperation hasn't completely taken hold. Children are playing in the mud. A few scrawny chickens peck at the ground, miraculously uneaten. As you pick your way through, wary eyes track your movement from tent flaps, some calling out to alert the neighbors to the presence of a newcomer. At the center of this little commune, you find a family crouched around a huge cooking pot, simmering with meats and scrounged vegetables. A little girl tosses a handful of wild herbs into the stew. Your mouth waters. A father and mother, a gaggle of children, a grandmother with a face like an ancient apple. Oh, like the woman at the very start of the game. Even a dog, rolling on its back in the dirt, tongue waggling. They're rough-looking sorts, filthy and gaunt, but you're not exactly presentable yourself these days. As you get closer, the man twitches aside his cloak to reveal a heavy wooden club. His wife's hand darts to a dagger in her belt. The dog snarls, hackles raise. They all look at you carefully, awaiting your next move. Introduce yourself. Ho there, stranger. Name's Bernard Maunder. This here's my wife, Trianne, and her ma, Gita. I can take you through the names of the nippers too if you like, but I get them mixed up myself. The young woman smiles wanly, withdrawing her hand from the dagger's hilt. The old woman just nods, her expression lost in a mass of wrinkles. Their children cluster behind their father like chickens, peeping at you and giggling. And this mutt's name is Clodo. He's a good boy, keeps the vultures away. With the word vultures, Bennett's expression darkens. Clodo sneezes disdainfully. Pet the dog. The dog lifts his lips in a snarl as you approach, but at the last moment, it lowers his head and allows you to scratch behind its ear. Clodo seems to like her. That's good enough for me. Goodbye. Clodo's tail wags wildly, stirring up a cloud of dust. You mentioned vultures earlier? Ah, human vultures. He doesn't elaborate further, but his shoulders stiffen. What's in the pot? It smells incredible. It only smells good because, from the looks of you, you haven't eaten a proper meal in weeks. Come on, pull up a rock. Grab a bowl. Pull up a rock. Pull up a seat. It's a hugely generous gesture. Meat out here is as precious as gold, and this man has children to feed. Sit down and join the meal? Sure. It's hot and thick and rich with meat. It's the best thing you've ever tasted. For the first time in weeks, the hunger in your belly ceases its howling. Where did you find all this food? You seen those big merchant caravans that come trundling through camp every day? A box of rations fell off the back of one of those. That's some luck, ain't it? It just fell off of its own accord, did it? A little risky, isn't it, to steal so much food? Teach me your ways. In truth, I'm not sure I could do it again. The timing was perfect. The guards were distracted, the merchants had all caught a wasting fever and could barely lift their heads. You can't rely on it. It's kind of luck. How long have you been camping out here, Bennett? Almost 2 months now. Every day I beg the guards to let us through, but they're not interested in the likes of us. They offered us a trade though. They'll take our nippers in and keep them safe. If Trian and I go work ourselves to death in their mines. But then who will look after old Gita, huh? Old Gita, eh? I agree. Gita wouldn't survive out here alone. Aye, that's the truth of it. So we're stuck out here for the time being. Don't worry though, we'll find a way to get ourselves past that gate. Pleasure to meet you, Bennett. I'll see you later. Away from the monsters, the atmosphere of the camp reasserts itself. Unfriendly glares, distant sobbing. You draw your coat close around yourself and hurry back to your tent. You climb into your bedroll, enjoying the rare feeling of a full belly. Offer silent thanks to Bennett Monder and his clan before sleep steals you away. So there's this like long story segment in between at the start of each day, right? And even shorter ones even between like customers that come to your camp. Plus whatever this is. It's an interesting mix between a narrative story game and a crafting game. A sword crafting game. Specifically a very specific sword crafting game. With a lot of detail. So that's an interesting combination. A few hours past midnight, you're woken by the soft silken hiss. A blade slices through the fabric of a tent. Oh well. Visual novel with crafting checkpoints. The fabric falls away to reveal a pair of gleaming eyes, a crescent of yellow teeth. A gaunt figure with a knife in his hand. He steps carefully into your tent, apparently thinking you are asleep. Behind him are the dim shapes of other men. Each night you bury your tools and your coin in a new location. There's not much in the tent they can steal, but they don't look like the types who will be happy if they don't find anything worthwhile. Faintly, you keep your breathing steady, your eyelids barely cracked open. The intruder creeps closer, knife extended. Behind him, his companions whisper impatiently. You have a sword in your bedroll hidden in a bundle of rags. Perhaps you can reach it before the knife finds your neck. Attack with the element of surprise, sure! You snatch up the blade and leap to your feet, stabbing in one fluid motion. The teeth gurgles as your blade finds his heart. The knife drops on twitching fingers. His companions shriek and flee, leaving their friend to bleed out in front of you. You wipe off the blade while blood pools beneath your feet. Searching the thief's twitching corpse, you find a purse full of coins, no doubt stolen from other tents. On the downside, it looks like you won't be getting any more sleep tonight. You have a body to bury. There was something that came up here, but it was hidden behind the thing, so I couldn't actually see what effect that gave. The morning's events have left you fatigued. Today's work will be slower as a result. But I guess I did get some money. I think I ended the last day with like 75 gold? Maybe not, I don't remember how much. Anyway, now I'm at 114, so that's good. I wonder what it means by fatigue, because I still have 8 action points nonetheless. And I can still do any 1 plus 1. Hey Amy, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It is very neat art. So we've done... Oh, this is actually different. The man in the anvil is on the cusp of adulthood, though stunted by years of famine. Make me a swordsmith, something big and impressive. I've been pushed around too long in this camp, but I'm not a kid anymore. I don't have to take the big things lying down. You saw this yesterday. This girl is new. A nervous looking woman approaches your anvil, constantly glancing over her shoulder. Her movements are quick and jittery like those of a hunted animal. Someone's been following me lately. for the latrines or when I go scavenging for mushrooms. I don't know who, I haven't seen their face. Can you make something and draw quickly? But it needs to be long too. Hopefully just the sight of it will keep them away. Do you know what they want? No, I'm not gonna wait around to find out. Next time I see them, I want to be ready. A woman stands there enviable, her eyes scanning the horizon. She flinches as you approach her. I hear it at night, you know. Circling, screeching, getting closer. The others say I'm mad that we left that thing back in the wastes. But they didn't see what it did to my brother, the way it looked at me as it tore him limb from limb. It didn't hunt like an animal, it watched me, enjoyed my fear. I'm sure it's followed me all this way. Look lady, I just make swords. Do you want one or not? I don't know what a sword can do against something like that, but I figure having a sword is better than having nothing at all. A broad-shouldered young man approaches your anvil. Although his ribs are visible through his skin and tattered clothes, he's still noticeably more hale than most of your neighbors. I need a proper weapon, Smith. Something that shows I'm serious about keeping order in this camp. Proper weapon? What, do you think I usually make toys? He blushes and stammers. My apologies, I meant no offense. What do you mean by keeping order? If a he glances around and lowers his voice. I've worked it out, you see. Aaron keeps not just stranding us out here without reason. They're testing us, seeing who's the best among us. If a monster attacks or a riot breaks out of the gate, I want a sword in my hand so I can leap into action and help the guards. If I impress them, I reckon I have a solid chance of gaining a place in their keep. The only riots I'm aware of are hungry people bleeding at the gates. Would you join the guards in quelling them? Keeping troublemakers in line is good for everyone. The watch needs to see that some of us understand how things work. Once I'm inside, I could put in a good word for the decent folk out here. Help them too. What kind of trouble are you expecting? You never know when the camp folk might get restless. Start making demands, causing riots, making the guards' life difficult. Someone's got to step in when it gets out of hand. What do you need? I don't know much about swords. Something weighty and impressive. Okay, so I can still do well, actually no, there's a difference. I can actually do this and this. But I won't be able to do this, the repair weapon, and I won't be able to deconstruct anything I might get. But I will get to advance 2-story things by doing these two. So maybe we do that. Forge. Okay. So they want. She wanted a, no, that's not her. She wanted a 49 to 69, fairly long sword. Let me add. I'm just gonna hit until this thing goes to. Until that checkbox. Until that thing checks off its box. Okay, so now it's hit minimum length, 50. Should probably be a bit longer. $60. Sharpness. How well the cross section of the sword can cut through a target. Okay. Smooth cross section is preferable. A strong central ridge can impede the cut. First, let's change everything else. So thickness. Well, let's just go right there. So cross section. That did not actually do this, but this is orange now. Pretty sure I need a second cross section. Maybe not. No. I don't think that's how it works. I don't really understand the cross section yet. That's a long shot. Let me do the other things first. Point. Thickness. Okay, so earlier on for the previous sword, I noticed that even when my cross section was complete, when my cross section was 100, this thing up here was actually red, and I think that's because the sword was too thick. Either way, now that I've thinned this thing's actually yellow. I still don't have sharpness though. Sharpness +1 by... Okay, cause I'm making the ridge. I'm evening out the ridge basically. There. Narrow blade. 2 sharpness. One-handed. Craft a short hilt for one-handed gaze. So the only thing missing now is your hilt is not finished. Okay. Go to hilt. Check. Mobility is down the drain now, but they never... I could change that by just changing the hilt, right? Actually no, that 3.1 is fine. It means that's a lot. Speed is low. But that's okay. It checks off everything. This is Dagi the 5, Dagi the 5th. She weighs the blade in her hand. The balance is perfect. When it comes, I won't hesitate. Not like before. Not like when I ran and when I left them. She pauses. The pause lengthens until it becomes clear that she won't speak again. Quality craftsmanship, Dad. It'll see your B stuff. You know, a sword can only do so much if you don't know how to use it. Well, pleasure doing business. It'll do enough. I heard it again last night. Closer than ever. Let it come. I'm not scared anymore. The writing is so good. I love the writing. Okay. Level 3, open skill tree. What is this? Unlocks advanced cross-section controls. Increase your stamina by 2. Ooh. Allows you to forge asymmetrical blades. Ooh. Allows you to scale sword pads. Ooh. This is how I make those smaller hilts and stuff, I think. Let's go for this. Look at my chickens. Okay, now I have 6 action points. I can actually do Garrett, or I can do Griswold plus Villa. Let's do Griswold plus Villa. So this is the Grave Robber. So he wants medium length, well, short, not really that medium, kind of short. Length sword. Sharpness at least 2. 2 things must be made of wood. One-handed, regular point. Not too narrow, not too broad. Okay. Add, change length. Okay. It's in the middle of this line. Sharpness. Let's thin the sword. I'm basically thinning the cross section. Change the width. And let's not change the width. Delete it. That's... Ooh, I can taper the blade, making it narrow towards the point. Taper the blade, making it less thick towards the point. But he just wants a regular point. Like so. He wants a one-handed thing, he wants 2 sharpness. Sharpness I get from cross-section. I'm hammering the cross-section. Orange turns to yellow. I get 1 sharpness there. I think if I make it thinner, I'll get the other sharpness point, right? There we go. One-handed. Okay, so I need this thing. So he needs maybe this and this. This is so small. Wait, where does the timber go? What's the timber? Oh. I don't actually know what the timber does. Oh no, that's just changing the type of wood that's made here. How do I get 2? Wait, no, I have 2 materials. Left mouse to apply material. I guess I'm not sure how. But right now, material is 0. If I attach paper slim, material just becomes 2. Okay. I guess because it takes 2 wood to make this. I don't actually see the requirement for these anywhere. But then here it says use 6. Here it says require at least 2. I don't know what. Don't know how that works. Anyway, whatever. Hill is not finished because I need a pommel. Apparently I do not need a guard, so I didn't include one. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Can change the polish level. Although it doesn't really seem to change much. I'm pressing O and P down here to see if it changes anything. Very little. Heck, you can have that. Nope. Daigi, the 6. Offer to Griswold. He takes the blade in his dirt-blackened hands, immediately testing his sharpness against his thumb. A thin line of blood trickles through the grime and he grins with satisfaction. Now let the bastard come and test me, eh? I'll split him down the middle and bury the pieces in the midden pile. Colorful imagery. Good luck out there, gravedigger. This is the guy who's that guy he's talking about is the guy who's the man who's angry that he took his wife's ring, right? Well, while burying his wife. I'm not sure who's correct in that situation. Both of them I can kind of sympathize with them. Try seeing things from his perspective. He's in grief, and the ring you took might have been all he had to remember his wife by. Nah, I'm still gonna split him down the middle if he even tests me. I ain't got no sympathy. My own family's been in the ground for years now. Poor Griswold's all alone. Boo hoo hoo. The dead are dead. No use sniveling about it, eh? I can't wait until the man himself comes and asks me for a sword as well. Okay, I have 2 action points left. We still have this repair quest. So this one, all we need to do is make it sharp. To do that, we need to adjust cross-section, of which it has 2 apparently. Oh, there's one cross-section for just this blade down there. Sharpness plus 3, that's it? That was it? Okay, I mean, sure. Taiki the 7th, offer to Hana. She hefts the weapon with satisfaction, testing its balance. Good as new, maybe better. Why, I could bet it could slice the lids from a man's eyes before he can blink. Cheers, Smith. My enemies will lament your name. Well, technically they'll lament Taiki's name, since that's what I'm naming the swords. Yes. I have 1 action point left, and 2 things to deconstruct. Let's deconstruct one of them. And sleep. Day 3 has ended. Now I have 3 things I can do. Outer gate, the camp, the lost city. This will probably unlock a merchant. These 2 will continue whatever quest lines there were. Something like that, right? Let's go talk to the merchant. I wonder how many days this demo has. Not all of Eren Keep was granted a Mask King's protection. In centuries past, the city spilled beyond its ancient walls. Now the barrier which traces the wall's course has left these outer areas to the mercy of the wastes. Nicknamed the Lost City, these crumbling districts have been picked over by countless looters, but rumors persist that there is worthwhile treasure to be found among the rubble. Seek out the scrap peddler. As night draws clear, the shadows in the Lost City come alive. Hidden eyes watch from high places. You scurry through the ruins, feeling as small and vulnerable as an insect. Fortunately, the scrap peddler is easy to find. He warms his hands over the blazing fire in an empty market square, accompanied by a sad-looking mule pulling a cart full of junk. He is an off-putting sight. Most of his face is bandaged, but the exposed areas are a mess of festering sores and flicking skin. You dread to think what the bandages are hiding. Not contagious, not contagious! The peddler points at himself as he shouts. One yellow eye peers madly at you through the gauze. What kind of malady afflicts you? Not contagious, I swear it. He doesn't seem to fully understand your question. Taking a look at him, his disease either looks like either leprosy or terrible skin condition. Either way, best not to get too close. I have many things. I find them in the dark places I sell to you. How did you find all this stuff? Dark places call to me. I find forgotten things there. He points vaguely downwards. The mule retches as though ready to expire. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm surprised no one has killed you and stolen your goods. Ha! I'm good at hiding. If found, I cough and slutter and pretend to be contagious. The bad man ran a mile. But I'm actually not contagious, I swear it. So now that I know he's not contagious, I can just kill him and take his stuff, right? What do you sell here? Many things. Much to be found for those who know. Can I see your wares? But it's too dark. The dark time is for taking my favorites, not giving. Come back in daylight so you can see what you is buying, yes? I should come back to visit the scrap peddler tomorrow during daylight hours. The option will be available from my forge. Bid goodbye to the peddler. Partners forever and always, yes? His rotten grin sends a shiver down your spine. Love the writing. The scrap peddler is now an available vendor in your forge. Search the rings available? Sure! The lost city has been endlessly picked over by scavengers, in hopes of finding something slim but irresistible. Shards and rubble crunch underfoot as you trudge down empty streets. Sure enough, one by one, the half-collapsed shells of houses prove to offer nothing of value. Venture deeper into the lost city. You come across a counting house where merchants want hoarded coin and tracked debts. It squats like a petrified toad between grander buildings, its faded paint flicking like dead scales. The door is blocked by a slab of fallen stone as big as a man. Push the stone aside, look elsewhere, find your way back to the outskirts. You strain and grunt and struggle, but the boulder seems rooted into the ground. It doesn't move an inch. By the time you give up, it's late. Find your way back to the outskirts. For a moment, you think you've lost your way. But then you spot a fountain you recognize. Its statue cracked and headless. Its remaining water just a puddle of black slime. You breathe a sigh of relief. This is familiar territory. The sun slips low in the sky. The shadows of the ruin lengthen. Time to leave. See, this guy kinda implies that it was already night. But then this kinda implies that after doing this, it's still evening. Something follows you through the shattered streets. Its soft footfalls slightly out of time with your own. When you turn around, it's gone, but the hairs on your neck are bristling. You hurry back to the camp. Unlike the lost souls camped out among these black ruins, you still cling to the hope of entering Aaron Keep. You just unlock your first vendor. At any point during the day, visit vendors to buy resources and other items. You make your way through the lost city, the harsh daylight throwing the ruins into stark relief. The sound of your footsteps echoes eerily in the crumbling silence. At last, you reach the Scrap Peddler's Square, a rubble-strewn market plaza reclaimed by boots. The peddler perks up at your approach, his one visible yellow eye widening with excitement at the prospect of a customer. I saved the prettiest trinkets for you, yes? I have some questions for you. Yes, yes? What's your name, peddler? That's right, I'm a peddler. Scraps the game. What condition are you suffering from? Nothing wrong. My skin just doesn't like me anymore, I think. Do you ever go inside Aaron Keep? Can't say no. Say I make people sick but lies. Not contagious, you see, not even a little bit. Have you seen anything strange in the ruins lately? The walls make sounds, sometimes they do. A beautiful sweet song for the sleeping. Men with candles sneak out here to call up things from the dark places. Oh dear. But the dark places are not so easy to call, and I could tell them that if they like. The dark places do the calling. Oh, double dear. How long have you been scavenging these ruins? Once I had a shop, a real shop, with walls and a floor. Then, he gestures at his bandaged face with a gurgling laugh. Now I have a mule. Mule doesn't care about face. Mule supports me through hard times. How long, you ask? 10 years? 17? How long does a mule live? None of any other questions. The peddler nods mindlessly, scratching at his bandages until something underneath dislodges. Survey his wares. Vendor inventory. Oh, I should get these books. Steel. Leather. Wood. Old tools. Baby shackles. I'm guessing this is also a dismantle for resources kind of thing. This is probably cheaper than this. A lot cheaper than this, but it costs action points to dismantle. Right. I have Smith's Companion. Sword Essentials, Modular Thinking, Twisted Steel. Twisted Steel. Also, I should probably buy some of this, just in case. Okay. The Scrap Peddler dances around excitedly, his bandaged hands fluttering over his collection. The mule retches pitiably. Goodbye. You nod curtly to the peddler, eager to be on your way. Tell your friends of me. Tell them I'm not contagious, not at all. The poor peddler. Okay. I straight up cannot do this. I feel like it's one more point. No, I don't. A smiling man approaches your anvil. He stands out as conspicuously healthy, lacking the stick-thin frame and hollow cheeks of most people in the camp. Oh there, Smith, I'm in need of a good weapon. What do you need it for? I keep the fine folks of the camp safe from thieves. Well, most thieves. Cause safety ain't free. Gotta eat, right? If some folk don't want to chip in for the greater good, well, trouble seems to find them. Yawn. Nothing too fancy with the sword. Just make it big and sharp enough that the sight will put some fear into a sensible man. Okay, some other day. A claw-like hand grasps your arm, belonging to a man with a wild beard and even wilder eyes. I don't have much left, Smith, and you're gonna take it. I hear them all night, scampering out my tent. Animal scum. Why can't they leave me alone? I need a sword. I can't lose what little I have. Not again. Who do you think is trying to steal from you? Everyone in this camp. You can't trust any of them. That's why I need a blade in my hand. You don't seem well. I'm fine. It's the world that's wrong. Bring me a sword, please. I beg of you. Why are there two of you? Oh, you have different jobs, right? A weary-looking man approaches our anvil. His shoulders bowed and his eyes on the... So I've seen this guy. So this is one of the guys that came by in the first time. This guy's the same name. The man who anvil has a careworn face and a child clinging at his waist. He nods stiffly at our approach. I need a weaponsmith. Now her mother's gone, my little girl's only got me to protect her. If you're not to be seen as easy targets, I need some steel to add weight to my warnings. Hello, Smith. Nice setup you got here. What can I do for you? There's a gang that comes from my tent every night, regular slot. Okay, so this guy has also come by before. Yeah, this is the guy I yelled at earlier. Okay, I have 10 points. I could do these two quests. Or I could do this quest and this and dismantle something. Found this blade in a lost city. It's not in great condition here. Let's do these two fives now. Start. Okay. 24 and 44. Speed. Light has light. So the sword is light and a little mass near the point. Longer handle further improves this rating. Gonna do the hilt first. These two are kind of linked, I think. Well, no, the regular point is the sharpness and the speed are linked. The regular point is just a thing, which I can do right now. Regular point, close enough. It's not very sharp, but that's okay. I need two. Cross section. So see, so right now, this thing up here is still orange, dark orange, even though it's 100% cross section. That's because it's not thin enough. So do this. Sorry, not this. Do... Is it this or this? Probably this. It goes from orange to light orange to yellow. Impact. Heavy, there's a lot of mass near the point. Kinda need to do this. There we go. So I only tapered kind of like this. I left this area sharp and heavy. And thick. This part is thinner. This is a very weird sword if you look at the side profile like this. Ooh, what is this? Oh no, that's the target, yeah. But this is a very weird sword because it doesn't... it doesn't really connect. But if he's willing to pay for it, who am I to say otherwise? What number weapon am I at? Am I at 7 or 8? Is this Tagi 7 or Tagi 8? I don't really remember. I think this is, well, I'll make it 8 anyway. Yeah, the side profile of this sword. You can make some really interesting swords. I saw the Steam page and the examples of some of the swords they made. You can have swords with like barbs, alternating barbs on them, just kind of sticking out. They look terrifying. He weighs the weapon in the hand, nodding with satisfaction. The little girl cools in delight as it gleams in the sun. Good. Hopefully this will encourage any wolves to find softer prey. Thank you, Smith. What's this? Mystery reward. Three broken cart wheels. Each one takes a turn to salvage. So I have 5 more points. I could help this guy, or I could do this and then deconstruct some things, and I think I'll do that. Except these quests are usually very easy. Just need sharpness, so I need to narrow the blade. Cross section. Wow, look at this one. Cross section of this sword is hollow in the center. It's thinner in the center and thicker at the edges. This cross section is the one, the main one. It wants sharpness. There. Taking the knife, enjoy. He grins as he takes a weapon, swinging it experimentally through the air. Wow, this is gonna come in handy. Thank you, Smith. Now with 4 points left, I'm going to dismantle. So 34, 12. 34, 25. So this is worth about 13 wood. 34, 25. 49, 25. So this, those old tools were worth about 14 steel. Okay, now I got lots of resources. And the thing. Oh, there's a new thing. Stay in the forge. Oh, I can just stay in the forge. Okay, so that doesn't trigger a thing. It doesn't trigger an event where someone comes to me or something like that. You just literally skip your event turn. Hi. Spy. This bird. Hi. $10 points. This is an 8, this is an 8. 4, 4, 4, 1. So I can do 4, 4, and a 1. The grizzled man limps up to you, scratching his scarred jaw with a dirt black fingernail. I'm after a weapon, Smith. Now listen, I know a good blade when I see one, so don't try to fault me off for a half-assed job. A woman approaches her anvil, her face grey with worry and exhaustion. She has a small boy hanging around her ankles, sucking his thumb, his hunger-hollowed face making his eyes stand out like dinner plates. You're a smith, right? You make swords? I've already lost 2 children on the road here. I can't lose another. I need something to protect him with. What happened to your other children? My eldest boy. Bandits put an arrow in him when we were crossing Knuckle Bridge. I don't know why, we had nothing to steal. After that, we avoided the roads. We made our way through the deepest part of the bleak woods, but that was a mistake. There's things in those woods. Something took my daughter, snatched her out of my tent at night. I heard her scream but never saw her. She breaks down into sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry won't keep Tom safe. Only steel can do that. Have you ever used a sword before? No, but I'll learn. I've heard stories about what happens in the camp. People taking children, selling them, worse things. I won't let that happen to my Tom. What can you afford? I don't have much coin left, but I'll give you everything I have. Whatever it takes. He glances again at her son, voice breaking slightly. He's only 4 years old. He doesn't understand why his sister and brother aren't with us anymore. I won't lose him too, not without a fight. So this is yet another Tom who has come by my camp. The man who approaches your forge is brooding and silent, his starved face and shaven head, lending him a skull-like aspect. When he speaks, his voice is a hollow rasp. A blade. He glares at you. You don't get the impression he's in the mood to answer questions. Hello, Smith. What set up you got here? This guy again. Didn't I help you but with a different name? So you... This is a repeatable thing, right? Something's tossed at your feet. Broken remains of a sword. The blade is snapped in half. My old blade finally gave out on me. It wasn't much to look at, but I've carried that thing with me since the world fell apart. I feel naked without it. Can you replace it? I can't be defenseless. I've seen what happens to defenseless people in Disney Week. Yeah, it's kind of a limited proof, but I mean, I have gone through. Well, but even then, I've only gone through like 3 or 4 days, right? I was wondering if any of them lead to story, leads down the road. It's possible that the longer ones like this do, the ones with conversations, but these short ones might not. That's why maybe they're 4, whereas these are 8. Well, this also didn't have a thing now. Whereas this one did have a thing. Have a like conversation tree. A scruffy young man style. Oh, we've seen this one. Same as last time as well. Let's do you then. Since there was a story. Speed, two-handed narrow point. So two-handed craft a long hill. Can you do that first? What's a quillion? Sorry, but what's a quillion? Why would I attach a thing like this here? What does this even do? Oh, it's kind of like a pattern. But what's this? I don't know. Who knows? Stash a grip. Long hill. So this is not enough, right? Not consider a long hilt either. I need to put on a second hilt, basically. They don't look good together. Looks weird. Whatever, you'll do. Still looks weird, but that's okay. Put this in between here. Okay, so two-handed narrow point. And this has to be a lot longer. So change length. Make it a lot thinner. Well, not a lot thinner. I think it does need to be a lot thinner. And I will find +1. For sharpness, I need to do cross section. Change width. No, this thing going red means that I'm actually moving away from it. What I actually need to do is take cross section, do this. I think that will help fix it. No, it won't. It's actually reversed. Yeah, this is turning green as I do it, which means it's getting closer. Oh, what happened? What even happened there? Anyway, something I did broke the sword. Anyway, light has little mass near the point. So that did increase speed a little bit, but not to the correct section. Probably taper the thickness here. There. But now the weight is too low. I need to add less thickness, like over here. Add more thickness, I mean. That remove weight. So I can't do that. I need to increase weight by... I mean, I could just attach more things to the sword, to the front of the sword. I should also be able to change width there. Like up here. Nope. That did the weight, but I lost speed and sharpness. But yeah, weight I should be able to just... Can't I just add length? No. Anyway, I can add things. I think I can add things to the sword to increase the weight, like this. Or this. Like this pushes it up all the way, almost to the line, 26%. If I add this, seriously, what is a quillion? Oh my goodness. What the hell? I can turn the sword into a really shaped thing. Huh. Anyway. Let's add this clover thing. Or diamond. Let's add a diamond. There. So basically I made this hilt heavier, so this sword here is lighter. Transfers protection from a simple crosscut of a sword, or the crosscut as a whole. Sure. Dagita tent. She takes the sword with trembling hands, testing its weight. Her grip is uncertain, but her eyes are hard. It's heavier than expected. She calls softly to her son, who was playing the dirt nearby. He looks up, his fingers black with mud. Come here, Tom. This name again. Stay close to Mama. Yeah, there are lots of Toms in this tent city. The boy runs over and clutches her leg. She rests a protective hand on his head, while keeping the other on the sword's hilt. She did want it to be heavy. Thank you, Smith. I pray I never have to use this, but if I do, well, I think it'll do the job. Oh, Tom and Tom, I'm sorry. You're right. Stay safe out there. Keep him close. Aye, that's a damn good blade if I say so myself. I'll still see you, right? Keep him close. Every moment. Oh, okay. So end of the 4th day or whatever day this was. 5th day? 4th day? The demo ends here for now. More sword making awaits in a full game. Enter Aaron Keep to claim your forge. Unlock a wealth of sword parts and materials. Find loyal companions and build your crew. Uncover and keep secrets and earn the trust of its various factions. Nice. I like this game. Very fun. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, add the game to wishlist if you like it. I will be. I like this game. Yeah, clever, interesting game, but so bleak for now. I wonder what happens once you enter the city. You can kind of see like the inside of the city here, right? This is like a city hall-ish kind of area. This is like a docks area? Market area? I'm not sure. More like docks, I think. You forgot all the poor people, forget about all the people, but they'll still be out there suffering. Maybe, or maybe you'll make a revolution, you'll lead a revolution and change the world and save them all. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Okay, that was Bladesong. Interesting game. I'll see you in my next demo. Stopping the video right now.